Hello and welcome to the Facts Intrigue channel. Today we're embarking on an intriguing journey across the United States, uncovering some of the most fascinating and lesser-known historical tidbits from each state. Don't forget to subscribe to stay updated on our latest discoveries. Now, let's dive into the unique and often strange historical facts that shape the diverse tapestry of America. Let's start with Illinois, the unexpected hero in penicillin development. In the early 20th century, a turning point in medical history occurred not in a renowned laboratory, but in a modest Illinois grocery store. Here, lab assistant Mary Hunt discovered a mold on a cantaloupe, leading to a penicillin strain that revolutionized antibiotic production. The story of penicillin's development is a fascinating one, involving several key figures. While Mary Hunt's discovery of the mold on a cantaloupe was a pivotal moment, the actual discovery and development of penicillin as a therapeutic agent is credited to a team of researchers. Then there was Alexander Fleming's initial discovery. Penicillin was first discovered by Dr. Alexander Fleming in 1928. Fleming, a Scottish bacteriologist, noticed that a mold called Penicillium notatum had contaminated one of his petri dishes and was killing the bacteria around it. This observation led to his identification of the mold's antibacterial properties, though he was unable to isolate penicillin in a form useful for treatment. Now we also need to talk about Howard Florey and Ernst Boris Chain, and what role they played in penicillin's history. The significant breakthrough in penicillin's development as a medicinal drug came in the early 1940s with the work of Howard Florey, an Australian pathologist, and Ernst Boris Chain, a German-born biochemist. Working at the University of Oxford, they succeeded in isolating and purifying penicillin and demonstrated its effectiveness as an antibacterial agent. Their work turned penicillin from a laboratory curiosity into a life-saving drug. Now let's go back to Mary Hunt and Penicillium chrysogenum. Mary Hunt, often referred to as Moldy Mary, played a crucial role in scaling up the production of penicillin. In 1941, while working as a lab assistant in Peoria, Illinois, she found a cantaloupe covered with a mold that turned out to be Penicillium chrysogenum. This particular strain produced much larger quantities of penicillin than Fleming's original Penicillium notatum. This discovery was vital for mass-producing penicillin, especially during World War II. Another key figure in this story is Norman Heatley, a British biologist. He developed innovative techniques for extracting and purifying penicillin in sufficient quantities. His work was instrumental in making large-scale production of penicillin possible. In summary, while Mary Hunt's discovery of the mold on a cantaloupe significantly boosted penicillin production, the development of penicillin as a therapeutic agent was the result of collaborative efforts by a team of scientists, with Alexander Fleming, Howard Florey, Ernst Boris Chain, and Norman Heatley playing major roles. Their collective work transformed penicillin from an interesting laboratory phenomenon into a revolutionary antibiotic that has saved countless lives. This chance finding played a pivotal role in saving countless lives during World War II, reducing the death rate from bacterial infections dramatically compared to World War I. Now we move on to the state of Michigan and Michigan's lost lumber town, the story of Singapore, Michigan. Nestled in Michigan's forests, the bustling lumber town of Singapore once fueled Chicago's reconstruction post the Great Fire of 1871. However, the town's success led to its downfall. The relentless lumbering left the forests barren, turning Singapore into a ghost town, a poignant reminder of nature's limits. North Carolina's ancient French Broad River. Flowing through North Carolina, the French Broad River stands as one of the oldest rivers worldwide, estimated to be over 260 million years old. Uniquely flowing northward, it defies geographical norms, reminding us of the enduring mysteries of nature. Pete the Mint Eagle, America's coinage mascot. A lesser-known piece of history. The bald eagle, America's national symbol, was once personified by Pete, a live eagle residing in the Philadelphia Mint during the 1830s. So how did this part of history come about? In the heart of Philadelphia during the 1830s, an extraordinary resident made his home at the United States Mint. This was not a person, but actually an eagle, who would become an iconic figure in American numismatics. Meet Pete, the mint eagle, whose legacy intertwines with the history of U.S. coinage in a fascinating way. Pete's arrival at the mint. Legend has it that Pete first appeared at the mint as a wild bird, drawn to the building, possibly due to the scent of food or the bustling activity. Quickly, he became a familiar sight, gracefully soaring over the building and often perching on its windowsills. The workers, charmed by his majestic presence, adopted him as their unofficial mascot. A living emblem, the bald eagle has long been a symbol of the United States, representing freedom and strength. Pete, as a living embodiment of this emblem, became an inspiration for the artists and engravers at the mint. His image was used as a reference for the eagle depicted on various coins of the era, thereby etching his likeness into millions of coins that circulated across the burgeoning nation. Pete's tragic accident. Pete's story, however, took a tragic turn. As he roamed freely around the mint, he unfortunately got too close to the coining machinery. In a distressing accident, Pete was caught and injured by one of the coining presses, which severely damaged his wing. Despite efforts to save him, Pete's injuries were too severe, and he eventually succumbed to them. Preserving Pete's legacy. The workers at the mint, who had grown fond of Pete, couldn't bear the thought of parting with him. In a move that was both a tribute and a way to preserve his memory, they decided to have Pete's body taxidermied. Once this process was completed, Pete was given a place of honor inside the mint, where he remained on display, a silent guardian of the institution he had unexpectedly become a part of. Pete's enduring legacy. Pete the Mint Eagle's story is more than just a curious footnote in history. It highlights the human tendency to find connection and meaning in our surroundings, and how even a wild creature can unexpectedly become a symbol of national pride. Today, Pete's story is a testament to the blend of history, symbolism, and the unexpected events that shape our cultural heritage. From his perched vantage at the mint, Pete witnessed the early years of America's journey as a nation. His legacy lives on not just in the coins that bore his likeness, but in the story of an eagle who became an unlikely but enduring symbol of America's spirit and its rich numismatic history. Now on to the state of Georgia and Georgia's lost nuclear bomb of 1958. In a dramatic mid-air crisis off Georgia's coast in 1958, Air Force Colonel Howard Richardson jettisoned a 7,000-pound nuclear bomb to avoid a collision. This really happened, so let's delve deeper into this disturbing part of history. Amidst the tensions of the Cold War, an incident off the coast of Georgia in 1958 added an unsettling chapter to the annals of military history. This is the story of the Tybee Island nuclear incident, where a Mark 15 nuclear bomb was lost and remains unrecovered to this day. The fateful night. On February 5, 1958, a B-47 Stratojet bomber, piloted by Colonel Howard Richardson, was on a simulated combat mission. Carrying a Mark 15 nuclear bomb, it collided mid-air with an F-86 fighter plane over the skies of Savannah, Georgia. The collision severely damaged the B-47 and left Richardson with a critical decision to make: dropping the bomb. In an effort to ensure a safe emergency landing, Richardson decided to jettison the nuclear bomb into the waters near Tybee Island. The bomb was not armed with a detonation mechanism, reducing the risk of a nuclear explosion. However, the conventional explosives it contained posed a significant danger. The search and its aftermath. The Air Force promptly initiated a search for the lost bomb, scouring the waters off the coast of Tybee Island. Despite extensive efforts, the bomb was never found. We want to take a moment here and ask our viewers if you believe the military really doesn't know where this bomb is at. What do you think? Comment in the section below, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to our channel to help reach more viewers with our videos. What's your take on this theory? We're curious to hear your thoughts. Share your opinions in the comments section below. Now on to the state of South Dakota. South Dakota's Mammoth Hotspot, Hot Springs, South Dakota, is home to a remarkable paleontological treasure, the world's largest collection of mammoth fossils. A fascinating window into the lives of these ancient giants, highlighting the area's rich prehistoric heritage, is truly a prehistoric treasure trove of mammoths. So let's venture more into the heart of South Dakota and you'll find yourself stepping back in time into a world where mammoths roamed in abundance. This state is not just a modern-day marvel of nature and history, it's also a prehistoric hotspot, home to one of the world's most significant mammoth sites. But what makes South Dakota such a mammoth hub? Let's unearth this ancient mystery. The Mammoth Site in Hot Springs. The key to South Dakota's mammoth fame lies in the town of Hot Springs. Here lies the Mammoth Site, an active paleontological dig site and museum. This site is unique because it's not just a place where a few mammoth bones have been found. It's a veritable graveyard of these colossal creatures. Over 61 mammoths, including both Columbian and woolly species, have been unearthed here, making it the largest concentration of mammoth remains in the world. A twist of geological fate. The story of how this site came to be is a fascinating tale of geological and environmental factors. Around 26,000 years ago, a large sinkhole formed here. This sinkhole, fed by warm springs, created a tempting water source for wildlife, including mammoths. However, its steep sides were treacherous. Many mammoths, once they fell in, couldn't escape, leading to a remarkable accumulation of their fossils over time. A window into the Ice Age. This site offers more than just bones. It's a window into the Ice Age world. The preservation of these fossils provides invaluable insights into the lives of these ancient giants, their diet, behavior, and how they interacted with their environment. It also helps scientists understand the climate and ecology of the region during the Pleistocene epoch. The role of modern science. Ongoing excavations and state-of-the-art research techniques continue to reveal new findings at this site. Each discovery adds a piece to the puzzle of Earth's prehistoric past. For paleontologists and geologists, South Dakota's Mammoth Site is an unmatched natural laboratory. Conclusion. South Dakota's status as a mammoth hotspot is a blend of natural history, accidental circumstances, and dedicated scientific inquiry. For anyone fascinated by the ancient world, it's a destination that brings the distant past to life, offering a unique glimpse into a world that existed long before humans walked these lands. The Conch Republic, Florida Keys' bold declaration. In 1982, Key West's mayor, Dennis Wardlow, humorously declared the Florida Keys' secession from the Union. This symbolic act of rebellion against a federal checkpoint was a unique blend of political satire and community spirit, briefly establishing the tongue-in-cheek Conch Republic. Nebraska's 311, a band named after an unusual police code. The popular rock reggae group 311, hailing from Nebraska, derived its name from an unexpected source, the Omaha Police Department's code for indecent exposure. This offbeat origin story adds a layer of local lore to the band's identity. Wyoming versus Mississippi, the prison spending contrast in the diverse landscape of the U.S. Correctional system. The contrast in prison spending between states like Wyoming and Mississippi is striking. This disparity not only sheds light on different penal approaches, but also raises questions about the broader implications for inmates, staff, and society at large. Wyoming's high expenditure approach. Wyoming stands out for its high spending per inmate. With expenditures of around $130,000 per prisoner annually, it's one of the top spenders in the country. This substantial budget reflects several factors. Firstly, Wyoming has lower inmate populations, leading to higher per-inmate costs. Secondly, the state invests heavily in correctional staff salaries and benefits, facility maintenance, and inmate programs. This approach is indicative of a system that prioritizes comprehensive rehabilitation, mental health services, and maintaining high safety standards for both staff and inmates. Mississippi's cost-effective strategy. In contrast, Mississippi spends significantly less, with annual expenditures of approximately $18,000 per inmate. This stark difference can be attributed to several factors. Mississippi has a higher inmate population, which can lead to economies of scale, reducing per-inmate costs. However, this lower expenditure also points to fewer resources allocated for rehabilitation programs, inmate education, and staff salaries. Critics argue that such budget constraints can lead to overcrowding, understaffing, and less focus on rehabilitation, potentially impacting recidivism rates and post-incarceration outcomes. Implications and debates. The contrasting approaches of Wyoming and Mississippi are reflective of a broader debate in correctional philosophy. Is the primary goal of incarceration punishment, deterrence, and public safety, or rehabilitation, reintegration, and reducing recidivism? The answer to this question significantly influences how funds are allocated and what priorities are set. The human and societal impact behind these numbers are real human stories. The quality of facilities, availability of educational and vocational training, mental health support, and the overall prison environment have profound effects on the lives of inmates and their potential for successful reintegration into society. Moreover, the working conditions and safety of correctional staff are also deeply impacted by these spending decisions. The contrast in prison spending between Wyoming and Mississippi is a microcosm of the diverse strategies and philosophies guiding the American correctional system. It underscores the need for ongoing discussions about the most effective and humane ways to manage incarceration, balancing public safety with the goal of rehabilitating and reintegrating individuals back into society. Now, here is an interesting historical note: Texas and Jefferson Davis's Camel Corps. Now let's take a closer look. In the mid-19th century, the United States embarked on an unusual venture: the use of camels for military and transportation purposes in the arid regions of the Southwest. Spearheaded by then Secretary of War Jefferson Davis, the Camel Corps was an ambitious project that sought to leverage the camel's natural adaptations to harsh desert conditions. But why did this intriguing experiment come to an early end? The Camel Corps Initiative. The initiative began in earnest in the 1850s, when the U.S. government imported camels from the Middle East and North Africa. The idea was that camels, with their ability to travel long distances without much water, would be ideal for transportation and communication in the vast, arid landscapes of Texas and the American Southwest. Challenges and limitations. While camels proved to be well-suited to the environment, several challenges limited their effectiveness. Cultural resistance. The use of camels was a significant departure from traditional military practices. Soldiers and locals were unfamiliar with camels and often found them difficult to handle, compared to horses and mules, leading to resistance and reluctance in adopting them. Technical limitations. While camels could carry heavy loads and travel long distances, their wider feet were not well suited for the rocky terrain in some parts of the Southwest. This limitation affected their mobility and utility in certain key areas. The Civil War. The outbreak of the Civil War in 1861 drastically shifted the priorities of the U.S. government. Resources and attention were diverted to the war effort, leading to the neglect and eventual abandonment of the Camel Corps project. Post-war developments. After the Civil War, the expansion of the railroad network across the United States rendered the use of camels for transportation increasingly obsolete. The railroad provided a faster, more efficient, and more reliable means of transporting goods and people across long distances. The end of the Camel Corps. As a result of these factors, the Camel Corps was gradually phased out. Some of the camels were sold to private owners, while others were released into the wild, where they roamed the Southwest for several years. The Camel Corps remains a fascinating footnote in American history, a testament to the innovative, though sometimes impractical, solutions sought by the U.S. government in its westward expansion. It highlights how cultural attitudes, technological advancements, and historical events can converge to determine the success or failure of a seemingly promising idea. From the medicinal breakthroughs in Illinois to the whimsical rebellion in Florida, these stories reveal the rich and varied tapestry of American history. Each state holds its own unique narrative, contributing to the intricate mosaic that is the United States. Which of these facts intrigued you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to explore our other videos for more fascinating historical insights. Thank you for being with us here on Facts Intrigue. See you next time.